Anyone, just we're here tonight, and we're back to a new Simpsons video, and we're back with yet another re-reviewing of episodes of The Simpsons that I don't like. And yeah, this is the same as well, because this episode actually introduces Herb, Homer's brother. Yeah, which is of course Homer's brother that Homer's dad tells him that he had. Again, it's sad because I do like Herb's character, but just how this episode, or Herb's character is interesting, but just the way this episode was presented, it just didn't really fit well though, or do well though, I can just say. It just didn't do so well. And this is an earlier, season? Yeah, this is only season 2. This is the 15th episode of season 2. So, yeah, very early on. I mean, I like the idea about Homer finding out that he has a brother. But just the way this was presented, though, it just didn't really do so well. I mean, I don't hate it as much as the first one we did on the episodes that I don't like. But, I mean, this one still has some good moments, but not enough to call it not a bad episode. And it starts with this meeting, which McBain interferes, which, yeah, Grandpa and his friend is complaining about the movie, and he ends up in the hospital and tells Homer to come here, and tells him that he has a brother, a long-lost half-brother, and it happened at the carnival when he was escorting Homer's mom and saw this girl at this the clown booth and getting attracted to her. And it just so happened that when the carnival came back to town the next time, she had a baby. And of course, that's when Abe married Mona Simpson, and they had Homer, and she promises Abe to never tell Homer about the incident. And of course, here we are. He tells him about the incident. And yeah, Homer goes to the Shelbyville orphanage, and the guy is not told to give the information. He even tries to bribe the guy to tell him. And he's doing all these different calls until he actually finds what it seemingly is his brother. And we see this policeman pulling them over, and he's like, "Oh, my mistake." And yeah, we see this guy just complaining with his different guys in this meeting, and when Homer sees this limo come, it is Herb. Yep. His long-lost half-brother. And yeah, they have a touching moment together, and yeah, Herb lives in this mansion. Herb is a millionaire, or billionaire, and he gets introduced to the kids and Marge, and yeah, he tells them to call him Unky Herb. The kids, Unky Herb. And yeah, they're just watching him play and just having a chat and skipping rocks. And Homer even calls because Herb says that whenever you're hungry, Herb's guy that can just cook any meal that Homer wants anytime, even in the middle of the night, which yeah, he does. And Homer has to choose between these different cars, and Herb gives him the most important and the most regretful decision that Herb will ever give to Homer, and that is for him to choose to make a car. Which yeah, Homer is having to work with some of Herb's finest workers to make a car that Homer wants, and we see Bart and Lisa want to go on a cruise but do ponies, so they do both, which I find funny. And Herb tells Homer tries to get him to go back in there and tell him what they need to do for his car, which yeah, he does so. and they say of how good Homer is for the kids to listen to, and Lisa and Bart show Herb Itchy and Scratchy, which of course he absolutely likes. He does. He's like, I don't know how I missed this growing up. And when they're about to present the car, we see this. Which, yeah, Herb finds out the price and he just breaks down crying because of how broke he is. And yeah, he lost his business and his mansion. And he, of course, blames Homer. And he's like, he has no brother. Herb says he has no brother to Homer. And he just leaves. Of course, we do see Herb again later on as well. But again, just the way this episode was presented, I liked the idea, but just the way it was made, it just didn't really fit that well. And of course, Abe Simpson coming and wanting to see his son, but of course, he just leaves. And Bart tells Homer that he thought his car was cool. But yeah, not an episode that could have worked, right? But just the way it was made, it just didn't really fit well for me, and one of my least favorites as well of the show, especially when it comes to an early season Simpsons, though. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Get the next one.